Is there anything about your tweets over the weekend that you would change?
Not at all, Dan. I'll probably be putting some more out here to cause them to think a little bit more. And their effort here is to be celebrating because the United States is moving towards becoming the whites becoming a minority, be a majority minority within the country according to Earth, their planet.
Now, if you talk that way, they would label you a racist.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But what are they after? What is their utopia? They're dividing people. They're pitting people against each other. And Jorge Ramos' stock and trade is to identify and try and drive wedges between race and ethnicity, I should say, to be more correct. And when you start accentuating the differences, then you end up with people that are at each other's throats. And he's adding up Hispanics and blacks, and he predicts will be in greater number than whites in America. I will predict the Hispanics and the blacks will be fighting each other before that happens.
You tweeted support of a Mr. Wilders, who's running for prime minister in the Netherlands, and you wrote that Wilders understands that culture and demographics are our destiny. We cannot restore our civilization with somebody else's babies. This is being condemned by many regions of American politics and citizenry. What did you mean?
Well, of course, I meant exactly what I said, as it always is the case, Chris. And to expand on that a little further, I've been to Europe and I've spoken on this issue, and I've said the same thing as far as 10 years ago to the German people and to any population of people that is a declining population that isn't willing to have enough babies to reproduce themselves. And I've said to them, you cannot rebuild your civilization with somebody else's babies. You've got to keep your birth rate up, and that you need to teach your children your values, and in doing so, then you can grow your population and you can strengthen your culture, you can strengthen your way of life. And that's not happening in any of the Western European countries. France comes the closest to having a birth rate that's a replacement rate, but it's a clear message that we need to get our birth rates up, or Europe will be entirely transformed within a half a century or a little more. And Geert Wilders knows that, and that's part of his campaign and part of his agenda.
Right, but if you want to apply that kind of thinking to America, it seems like a complete contradiction of what we're all about. I mean, this is the melting pot. We are known by those countries that you just mentioned as the bastion of diversity. It is an unqualified strength for us, and it sounds like you're trying to kind of white cleanse our population and saying somebody else's babies. I think that means me, Congressman. I'm only second generation in this country. Who's somebody else's babies?